This soap smelled amazing when I made it. I put it into the mold and the whole living room smelled fantastic. 4 weeks later I unmolded it and the scent is barely there, like there is a small hint of it, but almost nothing. So this is one of the most frustrating things that can happen to a soap maker, and this is because both fragrance oil and especially essential oils are very expensive. So when you use a high amount of essential oils to make your soap smell fantastic, and then a few weeks later it doesn't smell that much, it's a total waste of money. So today we're going to talk about the reasons why your essential oil blends and your fragrance oil blends are not long lasting and how to troubleshoot that. This is one of my favorite topics because I love smell. When I started soap making, I was reading a lot of books, and two of the most important books that I've read was from Mandy Aftel. Now those are not soap making books. One is called Essence and Alchemy and the other is called Fragrant, and they are all about essential oil blends, how to make them beautiful, how to combine ingredients together. You will see that you cannot match all ingredients, you have to match certain ingredients in order to make a very balanced essential oil blend, and how, most importantly, how to make it long lasting. So this is exactly what we're gonna talk today. If you're new to this channel, I have a free beginner soap recipe that you can get, and this is a very balanced cleansing and conditioning recipe at the same time. And this PDF also contains an essential oil blend that is long lasting because it contains a base. We're going to talk about what base is that makes it last longer, and then it contains two beautiful essential oils. This is one of my favorite essential oil blends to make actually, and if you want this, just comment soap and I'll send you the recipe as soon as I see your comment. Without further ado, let's get down to the video. What we need to understand here is that essential oils do not behave the same as they do in a hand cream and in a soap. Now in a hand cream you have a different pH, and in a soap you have another pH. So what happens in soap making and what we need to first address is that soaps are alkaline, meaning that the saponification reaction between oils and lye equals soap is a saponification reaction that happens in high pH. So when you mix your oils and lye, the pH is quite high, and at the end of the curing time, your soap will have a pH of 9 to 10, which is quite alkaline. And in this environment, in this alkaline environment, a lot of essential oils are actually degraded. The same way as a lot of vitamins and antioxidants that exist in olive oil or other oils will most likely degrade during saponification. It's because of that, because of the high alkaline environment. So soap making is a very, very special case because you need robustness. You need something that can survive the alkalinity and the harsh environment of saponification. So first thing you need to know is that we have three types of essential oils or fragrance oils. So we have the top notes, the medium notes, and the heavy notes. Now the top notes are notes that are of low molecular weight. They are very light, and because they are very light in weight, they evaporate very fast. So they're the first thing you smell. As Mandy Aftel calls it, it's the first impression. Top notes are the first impression of your essential oil blend. And there are a lot of top notes that actually evaporate really fast, especially citrus ones. So if you ever made a soap with a citrus essential oil and 2-3 weeks afterwards it completely disappears, it's because it's very volatile. But not only that, some essential oils, especially sweet orange essential oil, they're citrusy, they're amazing. Honestly, I love smelling that. The problem is that it contains a substance called limonene. Yes, sweet orange essential oil contains 90% limonene. Now limonene is the ingredient that gives this characteristic citrusy profile, and it's the ingredient that exists in other citrus oils like Lychea cubeba, bergamot, lemon, and so on. But limonene is very prone to oxidation. So it oxidizes every time you open the bottle, it starts degrading. Once you open it, it starts degrading, and the shelf life is not actually that long. And once it degrades, it also doesn't smell that nice. It degrades to other byproducts that have an off smell. So one thing, if you want to use citrus top notes, is that you should know they evaporate fast, and if you're planning to use them anyway, make sure you use as fresh as possible top notes. Otherwise, they will be gone very fast, and they will also have an off smell. One of my favorite citrus top notes is geranimo. Geranimo is very, very floral, but at the same time is very citrusy, and it's very long lasting actually. Geranimo is a very special oil. I like to use it a lot because it lasts long, and it has both a floral character and also a citrusy character. So we talked about top notes. Let's talk about the second part, medium or hard notes. Those notes are of a slightly higher molecular weight, so they're slightly heavier than the top notes, so they don't evaporate as fast. And we call them hard notes because they're supposed to be the heart of the essential oil blend. So the top notes is the first impression that goes away after a while, and then you have the hard notes, which is basically the strongest and the thing that defines your essential oil blend, the character of your essential oil blend. And there are different hard notes. We have lavender essential oil, we have lavender essential oil, we have pine essential oil, we have rosemary essential oil, a lot of different hard notes that are out there that you can use. And then in the end we have the base notes. And the base notes, they're the compounds that are of the highest molecular weight, they're very heavy, and they evaporate very, very slowly. And the base notes can be patchouli essential oil. Patchouli essential oil is a wonderful oil. It smells kind of like, it's very earthy, and some people say that it smells like memories of the 60s. Then you have vetiver essential oil, you have sandalwood essential oil, you have vanilla. Vanilla also is a very long-lasting base. So those oils, they are very long-lasting because they're of heavy molecular weight. Now, what do we want to do here? These base notes, they also called fixatives, meaning that they make your whole essential oil blend more long-lasting. So what I like to do in my essential oil blends, I like to use around 20 or even 30% of base notes. So 30% will be base notes, patchouli, sandalwood, vanilla, vetiver, and the rest will be hard notes and top notes, because I know if I add the base note, I will make the whole essential oil blend more long-lasting. As a side note here, spicy essential oils like ginger, they're quite long-lasting as well, and also a little goes a long way. So ginger essential oil, for example, is very, very dominant and strong. Another tip that you can do is to use kaolin clay or different clays, because what clays do is that they trap the fragrance or essential oil blend well, and they make it slightly more long-lasting. Don't expect any miracles from this, it just helps a bit. Now, the third, and this is perhaps the most important thing to understand for this video, is to understand the difference between essential oils and fragrance oils. So essential oils are natural, so they come from the distillation of different plant flower material. And the thing is that when you buy an essential oil, you don't buy one ingredient, you buy a mixture of many different ingredients. So you will see lavender, if you click lavender essential oil composition, you will see a lot of different things. And what happens here is that because there are many different ingredients, those ingredients tend to basically degrade faster. So essential oils are natural, but at the same time, they're quite unstable and not very long lasting. While fragrance oils are synthetic. Okay, they're not natural. They're made by traditional chemistry. And what happens here is that fragrance oils are much more stable compounds because they're made synthetically. And if you use a fragrance oil in your soap, I have some soaps that I made a year ago and they still smell fine. Like the smell is still there, because fragrance oils are very long lasting and very stable compounds. The thing with fragrance oils that you should always remember is that if you're planning to buy fragrance oil, check with your supplier that it does not contain any phthalates or parabens, because those are hormonal disruptors. So you want safe fragrance oils. And bear in mind that a lot of fragrance oils actually contain substances that you find in essential oils. So you will see a lot of fragrance oils saying that they contain linalool or limonene or geraniol, which are all compounds found naturally in essential oils. Can you use a combination of fragrance oil and essential oils? Absolutely, and it's very, very smart to do so. I do that quite often because I know if I mix both together, I will get both the long-lasting and stable aspect of fragrance oils, and at the same time I will get the natural aspect of the essential oils. So this would be my recommendation for you if you want something that is very long-lasting, to use a combination of fragrance and essential oils. If you don't want to use fragrance oils at all, that's still okay. You can fix it and you can make it more long-lasting with a base, and also by using kaolin clay to make it, to basically trap it inside the soap. By the way, if you're new to soap making and if you want to go from overwhelmed beginner to confident soap maker, I have an ebook that contains a lot of different recipes. Plus, it teaches you how to think as a formulator, how to understand your oils, and how to not only copy recipes, but how to design your own based on your own goals. If you want it, click the link in my bio. I've been receiving a lot of great feedback from different people, and I would love to hear your thoughts as well. I hope you found this video useful, and if you do, please leave a like and a comment and subscribe to this channel if you want to see more videos like that. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.